Hi, I'm Dave Grammersdorf, and I know what you're thinking. You're really busy. Why on earth are you going to spend your precious time learning yet another new tool? How is Pear Deck going to help you? Well, hopefully, I'm going to help answer that question for you today. So, first of all, let's talk about what is Pear Deck. So, Pear Deck is a Google add on, and it turns your Google Slides into really engaging, interactive lessons. Imagine having a presentation and allowing your students to answer questions and provide feedback as the lesson is going on. You can collect really valuable formative assessment data in real time, and it's very simple to do. You can also use Pear Deck to create independent activities for your students so they can go off and work their way through a presentation at their own pace independently. And again, you're collecting assessment data as they go. Now, in addition to that, we can also use Pear Deck to help us address a couple of the initiatives and topics that we've been talking about a lot lately in the district, one of them being culturally responsive teaching. Now, we are lucky enough to work in a school district that is really racially and culturally diverse. And we know that we want to consider the diverse needs of our students when we're designing lessons. Pear Deck can help us do that. It can also help all of our students feel included and respected. Now, there are a lot of ways that we can do that when we're designing lessons, but one of the great tools that Pear Deck gives us is something called Immersive Reader. Now, I'm going to create an entire video about Immersive Reader in this video series, but let me just show you something very quickly. Imagine your students are working their way through a Pear Deck slideshow, and it looks like this. And they have directions here. This button down in the bottom right corner opens up Immersive Reader. And with no additional work on your part as the slideshow creator, the student can look at the text from that slide and press play and have it read to them. Not only that, but they can actually take the text in your slideshow and translate it to one of what must be 100 different languages here. You know that student in your class that speaks Polish? There you go. So really, really powerful tool. Think about what the implications are for Immersive Reader when we consider our ELLs. Which brings me to another point. Universal design for learners. So Superintendent's Conference Day, that was something that we were talking about as well. We want to include all of our learners in meaningful, challenging learning opportunities. We want to design lessons and presentations that consider the needs of our ELLs, students with IEPs, students with 504 accommodations. We know from things like Gardner's multiple intelligences theory that all of our students have really diverse and varied learning profiles. So how do we meet the needs of all of these kids when we're designing lessons? Pear Deck can help us do that as well. And we'll talk about that as well during this video series. So my plan here is to create a video series, 6 different videos. One of them is going to be just how to get started with Pear Deck. And that'll be the basics of what is Pear Deck and how it works. We'll have a whole video dedicated to Immersive Reader. There will be a video about how we can use Pear Deck to deliver lessons or mini lessons to the whole class. We'll talk about how we can use Pear Deck to give better directions. There will be a video about Pear Deck to create independent activities. And finally, a video about using Pear Deck for remote learning. Now, I wanted this video series to be evergreen. I don't want everything in here to be how we get through remote learning right now, but also how we can use Pear Deck moving forward in the future. So for that reason, there is an entire video just dedicated to how to adapt Pear Deck lessons to remote learning. I should also mention, by the way, before I wrap this up, that if you have any questions, please email me. I'm happy to help. I'm also planning on opening up some PD sessions by choice. If you would like to come and join me for a 45-minute training session, I can answer questions and we can go through some of the things that we talk about in this video series. Again, just let me know, and gauging by interest, I will create those PD sessions. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody.